If you'll come in here, my dear, and you can wait, I'll tell Mr. Holmes you're here.
You might also tell him that my time is as valuable as his. I would prefer not to be kept waiting.
I'll tell him.
Ah, I saw you driving over from the cottage. I thought you might stop in.
I plan to on my way back.
You shouldn't drive that old car of yours on these dirt roads. They're fit for nothing but pony carts.
I wouldn't do it at night.
You could skid into the mire.
You do worry about me, don't you?
When you let me.
You must be on good terms with Sir Henry.
What makes you think that?
The way you walk into his home?
The moor is free and easy about such things.
Nothing's easy on the moor, Jack.
Come to pay your respects to Sir Henry's.
Why should I? I'm no longer a neighbor of Baskerville Hall.
Then why are you here?
Perhaps I can answer that, Mr. Stapleton. I called Mrs. Lyons here and asked for this meeting. There was no need to trouble yourself. I plan to see you in Tracy Coombe.
I'll be spending some time with a friend, so I thought I'd save you the trouble.
A friend on the moor, you mean?
Lady Agatha?
My associate, Dr. Watson's at her cottage now. I had no idea she was that social.
Perhaps I should have made an appointment.
Not at all. Your arrival is most opportune. Sorry I haven't taken you up on your invitation to view your insect collection, Stapleton. A situation I hope to remedy.
You'll find my collection quite special.
Mr. Stapleton and I met on the moor not long ago. He was in pursuit of a grizzled skipper butterfly.
It escaped my net.
Pity. Are you waiting to see Sir Henry?
My sister and I, yes?
Might try the potting shed. He and Barrymore were there earlier.
Will you give me a ride back when you leave?
Happy to.
I have only a few things to say to Sir Henry. I won't be long.
Old friends.
Mr. Stapleton has been exceedingly helpful.
Won't you sit down?
There's a great deal of excitement in the village.
Oh?
The police have traced a dangerous convict to the moor. Apparently, he escaped from Princeton Prison some time ago.
That would be Selby, the Notting Hill murderer.
You're well informed, Mr. Holmes.
In some circles there is considerable doubt as to his sanity.
Sane or insane, the farmers hereabouts don't like it.
I understand they get £100 if they can give information.
The chance of £100 is a poor thing compared to the chance of having your throat cut. But surely, we're not to discuss a convict who may or may not be insane.
I understand you had the pleasure of knowing Sir Charles.
Yes?
And I had the pleasure of knowing your father.
I don't know what you're driving at, Mr. Holmes. There is nothing in common between my father and me. I owe him nothing, and his friends are not mine. If it had not been for Sir Charles and some other kind hearts, I might have starved, for all that my father cared.
Did you ever correspond with Sir Charles?
Why are you asking these questions?
I assure you, Mrs. Lyons, they are necessary.
I wrote to him once or twice to thank him for his kindness.
Kindness? Would you care to explain?
I've already explained as much. He contributed money so I could set up a small shop in Tracy Coombe's.
Have you the dates of those letters?
Dates? No.
Did he ever write you, did you ever write him, asking him to meet you?
That's an odd question.
I intend to repeat it. Did you ever write to Sir Charles, asking him to meet you?
No.
Not on the day of his death?
No.
Surely your memory deceives, for I could even quote a passage of your communication. It ran, please, please, as you are a gentleman, burn this letter and be by the gate by 10 o'clock.
Then he didn't do as I asked.
You do Sir Charles an injustice. He did burn the letter. Most of it in any case.
All right, I wrote it. I wished him to assist me further. I thought that if I had an interview, I could gain his help, so I asked him to meet me.
At an hour when the moor is deserted and dark.
The hour seemed unimportant.
You asked him to meet you outside the house.
Why does it matter? I never went.
Why?
A private matter. It concerns only me.
Why deny you wrote the letter?
Obvious, I should think. Gossip.
You admit you made an appointment with Sir Charles at the hour and place he met his death.
I do.
Yet you deny you kept the appointment.
Yes.
Is that all you wish to tell me?
Mr. Holmes! That is all I'm going to tell you. I'll wait for Mr. Stapleton in the car.
Remarkable woman. Not to the manner born, but giving an excellent imitation.
Ah, you're a bloodhound in the true sense of the word, Mr. Holmes.
There are 75 perfumes, which is very necessary for a criminal expert to be able to distinguish from each other. Mrs. Lyons favors none of them.
Well, then how did you find her?
I didn't. She found me. I must say she isn't quite what I expected.
And what did you expect?
Someone less sure of herself.
Ah, I saw you walk over the moor from my window.
It's Jack. He has something to say. He went looking for you.
I'm afraid I misdirected him to the potting shed.
Jack! He's already on his way back.
The shoe doesn't fit properly.
It fits, but there's only one.
Where's its companion?
Haven't the slightest idea.
I should have returned long before this, Sir Henry.
Do you have something to say to me?
I do. It's rather personal.
Anything you have to say to me, you may say in front of Mr. Holmes.
My presence isn't required.
Thank you, Mr. Holmes. And you will come and see my collection. I'm anxious for your reaction.
You may count on it.
My brother wants to apologize for his temper.
I prefer to speak for myself.
I didn't mean to speak for you, Jack.
Then don't. You must understand that the thought of losing my sister was hard for me. She's all I have for family. I suspected your motives, that you were simply using your title and position to impress her.
Nothing could have been further from my intent.
I know that. Now,
I must tell you, Stapleton, I have every intention of marrying your sister. She's told you?
she has. I will withdraw all opposition if you promise to wait 3 months until you are completely sure that marriage is what you truly want. I have seen one unhappy marriage on the moor. I have no desire to see another. My sister's happiness is my only concern.
Kathy is no Laura Lyons, and I am no idle painter of pastoral scenes.
Then we are agreed. 3 months.
What must be 3 months.
Wonderful.
Will you be riding back with Laura and me, Kathy?
I'll walk back.
I'm not sure that's wise. The convict might be lurking.
I'll make sure Kathy gets home without incident.
Thank you, Sir Henry. I wonder, would you come and dine with us at the cottage tomorrow evening?
Delighted.
I'll go find Laura.
I'm not sure I like that provision of 3 months, but if it will make things easier with your brother, I'm not going to argue.
I knew he'd come around.
Kathy, have you always been afraid of your brother?
Yes. I think I have.
He's never harmed you in any way.
I was surprised to find Laura was here.
So is Mr. Holmes, I think.
Mrs. Barrymore said you were looking for me, sir.
Yes, Perkins, I can't find my other shoe.
Aren't these the shoes you gave me yesterday for polish?
Barrymore brought them back to my room last night, but when I went to put them on just now, I could find only one.
I can't imagine where the other one is, sir.
My favorite pair.
I'll turn the place upside down.
No need to do that. Just see if you can locate the mate.
I'll try, Sir Henry. I can't imagine what's become of it. Will you be staying for tea, miss?
If Sir Henry has no objection.
You'll be seeing a great deal of Miss Stapleton around Baskerville Hall in the coming weeks, Perkins.
That'll be nice, sir. Especially if the Barrymores leave. I wouldn't like being the only woman here. I scare easily. Are they really leaving?
Not immediately. Can't say I blame them. Kathy, do you understand the danger? The curse of the Baskervilles. Oh, I try to pretend everything is perfectly normal and act accordingly, but I know there's a sword hanging over my head, ready to drop at any minute.
Henry, whatever this thing is, we'll defeat it together. Mr. Holmes will let no harm come to you. You've got to believe that.
I try.
I'll see if I can't arrange a nice bouquet for the tray. The wildflowers are almost done for this time of year.
Don't be long.
I beg your pardon, Miss Stapleton.
No harm done.
I've taken an inventory of everything in the potting shed, Sir Henry. You'll be needing some new tools.
You haven't been entirely honest with me, have you, Barrymore?
About the inventory.
No.
I'm afraid I don't understand, sir.
Your family has lived with mine for generations under this roof, and here I find you engaged in some dark plot against me?
I assure you, Sir Henry, you have no reason to think such a thing.
Haven't I?
I beg pardon, Sir Henry. Perkins says there's something amiss with one of your shoes. What's wrong?
Sir Henry believes I engage in some dark plot against him.
I'm not fooled by your tricks with the flashlight in the window. Sit down, Mrs. Barrymore, you look unwell.
No, Sir Henry, you misunderstand. No plot against you.
Mr. Holmes! Holmes!
We have to go. This is the end of it. You can pack our things.
I brought us to this. It's my doing, Sir Henry, all mine. My husband has done nothing except for my sake because I asked him.
What is that supposed to mean?
My wife is speaking the truth. If there was a plot, it was not against you.
My unhappy brother is starving on the moor.
We couldn't let him perish.
You mean your brother is...
The escaped convict, sir.
Sir Henry, I expressly asked you to leave this matter to me. I told you you had nothing to fear from the light on the moor.
I think it's time, Mr. Holmes, I took a hand in all of this.
That would be a most unwise maneuver.
Selden is my younger brother, but we humored him when he was a lad. We gave him his own way in everything. When he grew older, he fell in with a bad lot. The devil was in him. From crime to crime, he sank lower and lower.
He's quite mad.
Don't say that.
He came here for help.
He dragged himself here one night, starving. I couldn't refuse to help him.
Don't you think you've overstepped yourself, Mr. Holmes? Selden is a wanted criminal. Dangerous.
I assure you, Sir Henry, Selden is dangerous to no one but himself. His mind is most certainly deranged, but in a childlike manner. He is not the same man as when he murdered. My guess would be drug damage. I have seen cases like his before. Selden will end his days little more than a vegetable. Passive, frightened, disoriented. No harm shall come to him, Mrs. Barrymore. If he is in danger of apprehension, I have instructed him to come immediately to Baskerville Hall.
You've spoken to him then?
He has been on the moor for some weeks, and he has proved invaluable to me. In fact, I shall relay to the authorities.
What is it, Perkins?
I found this under the door, sir, in the kitchen. I heard someone outside, but when I looked, I couldn't see anyone.
Let me have it.
Oh, one moment, Sir Henry. Are you in custom of receiving mail in this manner?
Under the kitchen door? Certainly not.
Give me the letter, Perkins. Curious.
What is it?
Unless I am mistaken, this is the same stationery used for your London morning.
What's the message?
If you value your life, leave Baskerville Hall tonight. There will be no further warning.
The words clipped from the newspaper and stuck to the page.
Not this time. It's handwritten. And it's signed.
Signed?
Signed, Lady Agatha Mortimer. Interesting. I see Barrymore reached you. Good of you to come, Lady Agatha.
He said it was urgent.
It is.
Cassius Holmes, we haven't even sat down to dinner.
My apologies.
I'm famished.
You make too much of food, Watson. You should follow my example. I am perfectly content with a roast beef sandwich and a cryptogram.
Unfortunately, I can't eat cryptograms. And besides, it wasn't a roast beef sandwich. It was steak and kidney pie. My favorite. Lady Agatha was expecting a guest, too. I was looking forward to company.
Laura Lyons.
She hadn't arrived by the time Barrymore called.
Oh, she left Baskerville Hall some hours ago.
Not alone. They suspect the escaped convict is still on the moor.
Stapleton was with her.
He knows the moor as well as anyone.
No one knows the more as well as you, Lady Agatha.
You've discovered something of importance, haven't you, Mr. Holmes? That's why you sent Barrymore.
Holmes, I think your holiday to this part of the country was carefully planned. I don't think you were interested in those smelly old huts at all. I think you were still interested in Baskerville Hall.
Watson, if you'd be so kind.
Outrageous!
I take it you disown authorship.
If you value your life, leave Baskerville Hall tonight. There'll be no further warning. Why, whoever signed my name hasn't the remotest idea of my handwriting style.
I suspected as much. Are you familiar with your guest's handwriting?
Watson here has a bold hand.
I wasn't referring to Dr. Watson. I meant Laura Lyons.
I am quite familiar with her penmanship. Laura did not write this message.
But why would anyone sign Lady Agatha's name and not even make an attempt at a good forgery?
To delay investigation, possibly. I don't think the signature is important. The writer was intent in pressing the warning. The net draws tighter.
It settles one issue.
Which is?
There's no supernatural force behind this whole business.
Then how do you account for the beast you described to me? Dripping with a bluish flame, eyes ringed with fire.
I'd forgotten about him.
I haven't.
The moor plays tricks, Dr. Watson. You saw something you mistook to be the spectre.
You've certainly changed your tune. I know what I saw.
In that case, are we to surmise your spectral beast can also wield pen and ink?
You're being rude, Holmes.
No need to take offense.
Positively rude.
I take it you have suspicions about Laura?
Suspicions about many things. Were you aware she was in correspondence with Sir Charles?
No.
Were you aware that Barrymore was off the moor during the exact time Sir Henry received the first warning?
Barrymore never leaves the moor.
You are mistaken. I have it on authority he left Baskerville Hall during Sir Henry's London stay.
What authority?
A gentleman on the moor.
You mean Jack Stapleton?
You'll be casting your doubts on me next, Mr. Holmes. You don't think I had a hand in this?
You did leave out one extremely revealing fact when you first called upon my assistance.
I told you everything.
Everything.
I am not in the habit of lying.
You neglected to mention one salient point. You are executrix of Sir Charles' estate.
What if I am?
In the event that any misfortune should befall Sir Henry, who has yet to make a will, you would be in a most enviable situation.
You go too far, Holmes.
On the contrary, I go not far enough.
Not telling you was an oversight on my part. Nothing more.
Indeed.
You know of my bad financial situation.
Thanks to Watson here.
He always did have a rather large mouth.
I protest.
Quiet.
Mr. Holmes, have you seen Sir Henry?
It's close to the house.
What about Sir Henry?
He's not in his room, sir.
Where did he got to?
The Hound! Come, Watson, we may be too late!
What is it? What's wrong?
Get Barrymore.
Barrymore?
Stop asking so many questions. Do as you're told. Be quick about it.
Yes, ma'am.
Perkins whispered something about the Hound and Sir Henry. What are you doing?
I was going to light the fire. It's not important now. We need your husband. Where is he?
Perkins is fetching him. Where are Mr. Holmes and Dr. Watson?
They've gone on to the moor.
But they're not going to harm him. But Mr. Holmes, he said he would help.
Who are you talking about?
He's like a child now. He would never hurt anyone.
They'll need help, Barrymore. Mr. Holmes, Watson. They've gone after Sir Henry. He's out there.
Sir Henry never goes on the moor at night.
Don't waste time.
Get the strong light in the whole chest. They mustn't harm him.
Why do they want to harm Sir Henry? You don't have sense, woman.
Not Sir Henry, my brother. He's been out there for weeks.
Brother?
Selden, the Nottingham murderer.
You mean the escaped convict who has the countryside terrified?
Yes!
You know he's been out there, and you said nothing.
Mr. Holmes said he would protect him.
It's not your brother that would attack him, it's the Hound.
This place is cursed. I never wanted to believe it, but it's true.
Stop talking rubbish. I'd better see if there's need for me.
No, don't leave me.
I'll get a sedative for you.
How's a good beam to cut the fog?
I'm afraid that will be of no help.
Sir Henry?
Dead.
Impossible.
If only that were true. I've never heard screams like that from any man or woman. The beast had bitten and clawed and chewed.
Dr. Watson, please.
You'll have to excuse my nerves. I've never encountered anything like this before. The supernatural is quite beyond me.
What could have possessed him to go on to the moor after all the warnings?
I don't know. He tried to flee, but the creature was too swift.
Uncle and nephew murdered. One frightened to death by the sight of the beast.
The other driven to his end in his flight to escape from it. I'll be along in a moment. Give him a hand, will you, Barrymore?
Better bring the body in here.
That won't be necessary.
There can be no mistake. He's dead.
There is no mistake.
Poor Sir Henry.
I'm afraid your sympathy is misplaced. You will have to prepare yourself for another shock.
How do you mean, sir?
In his distress, Watson neglected to wait for my complete report. True, the man is dead, but he is a man with a beard.
Beard.
I regret having to bring you this information.
It's my brother, isn't it?
Yes,
Why would the Hound attack Selden?
he attacked a scent. He was wearing one of Sir Henry's hunting jackets.
I can explain. A woman from the church committee asked if we had anything we might donate for a bazaar. Sir Henry donated some of his old clothes, among other things.
They were warm and comfortable. I thought, well, why should others have them? My brother was cold and in rags on the moor.
You have no need to reproach yourself.
Perhaps it is for the best. I only wish he didn't die so horribly.
Perkins' family said I was wanted.
Where have you been?
We feared for your life.
You promised never to go onto the moor at night.
I was in the potting shed. Any prohibition against that, Mr. Holmes?
None.
Why do you all look so strange?
It's my wife's brother, sir, Selden.
savaged by the beast.
And the curse doesn't only concern the Baskervilles.
I wish that were true.
What connection could Selden have to me?
He was wearing your hunting jacket, sir.
The one you donated to the church sale.
The Hound had your scent.
How could he get my scent in the first place?
When you deal with the supernatural, ordinary explanations are worthless.
I'm afraid I can't agree.
What choice have you?
An investigator needs facts, not legends or rumors. This has not been a satisfactory case.
Can't you promise any hope?
I can offer something far more startling than hope.
What?
By tomorrow, Sir Henry, the curse of the Baskervilles will be broken, or someone in this room will be dead.
Makes me feel strange, sitting here writing all this down.
One should always keep his affairs in order, Sir Henry.
No argument there. Only, I've never been concerned about a will before. My own will, that is.
You'll feel better for it.
Will I?
Count on it. Can't imagine why Holmes went to see Lady Agatha this afternoon. Yesterday, he practically accused her of being implicated.
At least we're done with that ghastly business with Selden.
He'll dine in with the Stapletons this evening.
Unless Mr. Holmes brings up some new objection. Somehow I feel this will is a prelude to mine.
Trust Holmes.
I do, intellectually. Emotion there as tight as a knot inside.
We're leaving now, sir.
There's nothing I can do to change your minds.
No, sir. I think it's best my wife and I start a new life elsewhere.
I understand.